Dude, I took some MILF.
What the hell is that?
MILF. Mom, I'd like to fuck.
Yeah, dude. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
guys. MILF.
And here we go.
It's the comic book bullies.
Man, you come right out of a comic book.
It's the comic book bullies.
You will bow down before me!
It's the comic book bullies.
Now I am the master.
It's the comic book bullies. It's the comic book bullies. Welcome back to the Comic Book Bullies with Nerdist New Bully. I'm your host Leroy, aka the Mother Box, with my co-hosts.
Yeah, this is Eli, aka Boba Sex.
There we go. I almost missed you, Eli, but we got in there. Yeah, so today, even though today is tomorrow and tomorrow is today, we're going to keep going forward because today is a very special celebration and we want to make sure we celebrate that special person. And that person is Goku. Happy National Goku Day to 5'9". Eli, apparently this is a thing that I didn't know about.
I didn't know about it either.
Yeah, so apparently in Japan, May the 9th is official Goku Day.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, so like I said, to celebrate, we're just gonna keep it going from there. Oh no, get out of there. Okay, so like I said, April 9th is the celebration of Goku Day, and to celebrate Goku Day, they also announced another movie. Remember they had that big movie, the Resurrection of whatever, and the Dragon Ball Super whatever. New movie coming out, so big deal from that one. Yeah, so happy birthday to Goku. I just like this scene right. This is actually from the video game. It's not even from the anime. I did this, like it's a cut scene in there. I was like, oh shit, you can do that on the game? So okay. So, but anyway, and also not only happy birthday to Goku, happy Mother's Day.
Yes.
Yeah. So I feel bad because every Mother's Day I'm seeing a trend of MILF trending on there. Like I said, there's a picture of Stifler's mom from American Pie. So I don't know what's wrong with the world. I guess Ultron was right, so I don't know. Let's go to the call. Let's see what we got before we jump into the good shit. That looks cool. Thank you, 616 man.
616 in the house.
Yeah, he's gonna represent.
I'm trying to share out the link. Where the link at?
Are you sure? Because it's about your time. You about to be up.
Okay.
I was trying to filibuster and just go on about Goku. You want me to keep going on about Goku? I'll keep going on about Goku until you share.
You can go on.
Okay. For everybody listening right now, I want you to put in the chat who you think would win Ultra Instinct Goku versus Omni-Man. There we go. All right. I did. That's all I got, Eli. I got nothing else.
All right. Well, I can't find I don't even know where the link is. I don't know.
5,
the internet sucks.
3, 2, 1. All right, you're up. Okay.
What am I up about? What are we talking about?
Okay. We are talking about TV reviews because actually on the band that everybody come to listen to, they came to hear about the baddest of the baddest batch.
Okay, yes.
Because you watched the TV show.
I did watch a TV show.
Yeah. So tell us, Eli, sell us, the filthy casuals on the Bad Batch. What is the Bad?
Bad Batch is Star Wars. It's basically a continuation of the Clone Wars. It is referring to Clone Troopers or Clone Squad 99.
Before we get there, I had to ask a question. How close to the Clone Wars is this? Like how much of the Clone Wars do we need to understand this?
What? How much do you need to know? I mean, you can probably jump right in. You don't. I mean, it makes references. It would help if you knew some of the Clone Wars stuff. Because there's a lot of Easter eggs, a lot of references. But
was the Bad Batch in the Clone Wars?
Yes, they made their debut in the last season of the Clone Wars. They were introduced. So, yeah, there's not a this could be a jumping off point for new viewers. So because it basically takes place right as Order 66 happens.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So this is the Bad Batch. They were defective clones from the Clone Wars. They They don't look like the other clones, but they each had enhanced abilities. You know, you have Hunter, who's got heightened senses. He can hear and see and smell very well. You have what's his name? Wrecker. He's like a big, strong guy. He's got enhanced strength. You have Tech, who is really smart. He's like Donatello. Yeah, Tony Stark. Okay. You know, really good with hacking into computers. Smart, very smart. Crosshairs, who's a sniper. And then the newest addition is Echo. Echo was a clone trooper. This where the Clone Wars cartoon, you know, comes into play. He was an old clone. He was killed or thought to have been killed in I think season 3. But it turns out they took his body, had his body on ice, and basically turned him into a cyborg. And now he's part of the Bad Batch because he didn't fit in with the rest of the clone troops. He ended up joining the Bad Batch squad last season. So they're basically like a black ops crew. You know, they kind of go in and they get like really hard jobs because they're like the Expendables. They get the really hard missions that usually has a low survival rate, but they seem to always get the job done.
But who sends them on the missions?
The generals. In this first one, they went to go back up they're on a planet. There's a Jedi and his Padawan. They're I can't remember their names, but they aren't in Revenge of the Sith. They're them and their squad of clone troopers. They're being ambushed by a bunch of the droids and backup. They're waiting for reinforcements. The only reinforcements show up is the Bad Batch, but the Bad Batch take them all out, like, you know, dead everybody. Right after they, you know, destroy all the droids, Order 66 happens. So like 5 minutes in, you know, the Order 66 is called. The clone troopers start going haywire, kill the one Jedi Master, but then the Padawan escapes. Hunter goes after him, but then he's wondering what's going on. He's like, what the hell? Why did the clone troopers all of a sudden kill the Jedi? They were our generals and shit. So he doesn't understand because the inhibitor chips they haven't really explained why the inhibitor chips aren't working in the Bad Batch, except for one. The sniper, Crosshairs. He's the only one that's like, oh shit, we got to kill the Jedi. So he's trying to kill he's trying to kill the Padawan, but Hunter ends up letting him go. And then the sniper guy's kind of like, what'd you do that for? Or he suspects him. He's like, where'd the Padawan go? And Hunter's like, oh, he fell. But then Crosshair's like, I don't buy it, you know. But the Padawan, it turns out, again, Easter egg, the Padawan turns out to be Kanan, who's going to show up later on in the Rebels. So another Easter egg. So basically this first episode, there was 2 episodes that dropped. One on May the 4th, the episode 1, which was really long. It was like 75 minutes. It was like a mini movie. It's a pretty long episode. And then they dropped another one on Thursday on the regular time. So every Thursday or Friday.
Okay, Friday, so they didn't just drop like 2 episodes, 3 episodes. They're spreading out. Okay.
Yeah. So the first episode, you know, Order 66 happens. They're wondering what's happening. The war is now technically over. They go back to Camino, and they're kind of like the outcasts. You know, the Bad Batch, the other clone troopers kind of, you know, they're kind of douchebags to them. Oh, there's those dumbasses, you know, they eat by themselves. They got a bunk by themselves and all that stuff like that. So they're kind of like the rejects. We are introduced to a little girl clone. She was a clone, but she's a girl, but she's really smart. Her name is Omega. She so like
how they pull that off if they're,
I don't know.
Okay.
Clone. I don't know. She's a female clone. I don't know.
Take one chromosome out. Boom. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Let's explain. Okay.
And she's
Thank
really
you, George
smart.
Lucas. I fixed it for you.
Yeah. She's really smart. She's on the medical staff or whatever. And she kind of takes a liking to the Bad Batch. But Tarkin shows up. Grand Moff Tarkin shows up and he's like, yeah, these clone troopers, they're too expensive. We're going to start going with regular. We're just going to start recruiting volunteers to be our stormtroopers for our new soldiers. You know, the Kaminoans, the cloners, they're like, hey, yeah, we you know, they're trying to like make a case for them. And Tarkin is like taking a liking to the Bad Batch. Like this guy or this crew has a high successful, rate on completing missions. So he puts them through a series of tests that they all pass, And then he's like, okay, for your first mission, if you guys want to stay in my army, the Empire army, you guys this is your first mission. Go take out these insurgents. So they end up going to this planet, and it turns out to be Saw Gerrera.
Oh, Forrest Whitaker from the movie. Yeah, okay.
Forrest Whitaker's in Rogue One. Saw Gerrera was also in the Clone Wars as a young man. And they were allies with the clones. So when Hunter and the crew get there, they're like, why do the Empire, these were our allies, why do they want them killed? So Hunter's like, questioning the orders. Hunter and the rest of the crew, like, this doesn't make any sense. What's happening? But Crosshairs, the one sniper guy whose inhibitor chip is still working, he's like, all soldiers must follow orders, and he's trying to kill them, So again, Hunter kind of lets them go. And then Crosshairs gets examined, and they end up, the droids end up, or the Empire end up turning up the signal in his inhibitor brain. So he's like really like just all on soldier and has no, that's kind of like the theme of this show is what, where does the soldier end and the individual begins. And that was kind of like the theme in all the Clone Wars. They were always sort of like, what's our purpose?
In a lot of war movies in general.
Yeah. Like they were always kind of questioning what's our purpose. We're bred for war, but we are individuals. They're always searching for their own individuality. They give each other names instead of just numbers. So that was kind of like the theme in the Clone Wars, and that's kind of continuing here, where Hunter and the rest of the Bad Batch are kind of like questioning why they're doing things, But yeah, so Crosshairs ends up turning on them, and then they make a break for it, and that's kind of like where the first episode ends, and then the second episode is where they go to a planet where there's this one, again, referring to another earlier season in the Clone Wars, there was a deserter, a clone trooper that deserted the army and started a family. They find him, but then it's the end of the Clone Wars. The Empire is starting to take over. So credits, all of a sudden, money is changing, the currency is changing. People are trying to get off the planet, but their money isn't working. They need galactic credits now. So it all turns into this whole cat and mouse, sort of trying to get off the planet. And the Bad Batch sort of help this one family escape the planet, by taking out the new troopers and stuff like that. They try to send Omega. The little girl ends up tagging along with them. He tries to send Omega with the family, but she refuses, and ends up staying. So I think that's going to be like the relationship. We're going to have like the Bad Batch and this little kid tagging along, The second episode was a little slow. The first episode was really cool, launched us into the series, plenty of action, kind of sets up the whole series. The second episode was kind of slow. And Omega is showing some abilities. Gomer was the one who said maybe she's force sensitive. I was like, whoa, maybe.
I thought that was against the rules or something, like the clones can't be.
Yeah,
whatever. Okay.
Yeah, I thought of her as actually, well, she's part of the clones. They were putting all that military strategy, that military training into the clones. That maybe that's some of that she inherited some of that, because she can shoot guns and shit. Never shot a gun before, but she's sniping people out and shit like that. So that's what I thought. Maybe she's just like got that training in her. But Gomer's suggested maybe she's force sensitive, and that would be kind of, I guess. Yeah, how does that happen? I mean, I don't know. Have you heard? I mean, I haven't read the comic, but there's that comic that just came out a couple weeks ago where it talks about where they found Luke's severed hand.
No, I didn't read that one.
No, I didn't read it either, but I heard that the Emperor got a hold of Luke's severed hand, and he's using it to make he's using it for the midichlorians to make clones of himself. Force sensitive blood. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm like, you had Anakin the whole time. What's wrong with his blood? That's the
He's force sensitive. I mean,
Yeah.
just clone yourself,
This is my thing of like, okay, will you stop just tearing the Skywalker saga apart?
Right. Like we get it. You want to take apart every little bitty thing, but you don't have to. Let's leave some stuff to mystery.
Yeah, quit trying to turn Star Wars into Marvel or DC, where you're just
right. I mean, some of the mystery is part of it.
Yeah. So, but I don't know if she's force sensitive. That's okay, whatever. But I just thought of it as she's probably got some of that military training in her. But overall, it's fun. It's basically an extension of the Clone Wars. Like I said, it's like Clone Wars season 8. It makes direct references to the show. It happens right as Order 66 happens, so it's leading into what happens between, Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope, and will lead it to Rebels. They're making references to Rebels. So yeah, I enjoyed it.
Connects together. Okay.
Yeah. So if you haven't watched the Clone Wars, you could jump into this and probably get it. It's a good starting off point.
So how many episodes we're talking about?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
The last season of the Clone Wars was, I think, 10.
Okay. So
yeah,
if we get 10 episodes out of this, that's pretty good.
Yeah. 616. If you like the Clone Wars, you'll like this. If you haven't seen the Clone Wars but was always curious, you can start with the Bad Batch.
Okay. Know about Star Wars lore. How about the animation of it? Same style, same.
Animation is the best it's ever been now that Disney's got a hold of it. Like the last season of the Clone Wars looked immaculate, because before the Clone Wars was on it was on Cartoon Network. And then I think Netflix got a hold of it for the lost episodes. But now once Disney got into it, they're like, it's got that Disney money. So it looks awesome.
Okay. You can tell.
Yeah.
Nice.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, Eli, since I got you in the talking mood, I feel like we should just keep it going. I'm gonna just stay on you. Because this next topic is right up your alley also. So, like I said, Marvel just announced a new thing. I don't know what it is. I kind of halfway paid attention to it, but didn't pay attention to it. But at the same time, I didn't want to get into it too much because I wanted to, not steal your thunder on it. So basically, they announced a new Captain America, who's going to be Native American. Go ahead, get ready, get stretch.
Okay, yeah.
Crack your knuckles, do whatever you need to do.
It's been a long weekend. I gotta tell you.
I've been avoiding this conversation. Honestly, the reason I've been avoiding this conversation because I've been too busy in the other conversation. But like I said, I want to step on your toes.
Okay.
Take over whatever this is. I don't know what this is. So sell me on it or not sell me on it. What is this?
Okay, so I guess this is going to be like a little bit of is it some sort of celebration about
well, it's supposed to be Captain America's 80th anniversary coming up.
Yeah, so it's a series, like it's a limited series. It's going to be like a 5-issue series, The United States of Captain America, where they're celebrating, different eras of Captain America's life, and I guess other people that Captain America like delegated to represent him or something like that. So he's going to go throughout like every issue. It's going to be a different diverse, somebody to represent, the diversity, basically. There's going to be a gay Captain America. There's going to be, other people of color Captain America. And
so that's where that came from. Because I saw that. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And they announced that there's going to be a Native American Captain America. Let
me get it. I took a pickup. Hold up. Here we go. Okay.
Yeah. So there's like the character design written by a native. The artwork is drawn by a native. And I saw this and laughed my ass off.
Really? Okay. Because here's the thing, Eli. Like I said, with this, you are the target demographic for this.
Yes,
that's why I wanted to see.
We are never the demographic.
You're never the target demographic on that. You always, every time I always bring this shit, you're like, that shit ain't got to do with me, But now this is for you. That's why I wanted to see what you had to say about it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna just go by the play-by-play because it's been, like I said, it's been a long weekend over this shit. The world lost their fucking mind over this shit. So I saw this and I laughed my ass off because he is in an actual powwow grass dance outfit. And I was like, holy shit, Captain America. And a bunch of like on the native sites that were posted in it, we all started cracking jokes about native Captain America at the powwow selling Indian tacos and, you know, doing intertribal and shit. We just like, oh my God, look at he's in a grass dance outfit. Holy shit. We're like making all these powwow jokes with Captain America at a powwow. And then I went to the other comic sites where fanboys were losing their fucking
Try to take our characters.
yeah, it was like, fucking, you know, all of a sudden, all the non-natives were all of a sudden becoming experts in Native American culture off of Wikipedia. All of a sudden,
right?
You know?
That's what I'm saying. Like, maybe you guys on this one should sit this one out. Like, shut the fuck up just one time.
Yeah. You know, why they're playing the race card, all the shit, the same shit. Anytime a person of color becomes their favorite superhero, same shit.
And that's why I didn't say too much about this, because I'm like, I can't really say anything about this because, like I said, this was a particular demographic and it's not me. So I'm just saying, you know, whatever.
It was just fucking comic nerds, you know, throwing mantrums and having menstruations and, you know, this hurts my pussy. You know, they're dragging their giant clitorises across the ground, getting it stepped on, bitching about shit, you know.
But my thing is, why are they even upset about this? Steve Rogers isn't in the book.
Yeah,
he's not replacing anybody.
He's not replacing him. So here, okay, let me share some screens here. I got some shit. Right. So here's the biggest complaint so far is let's see, blah 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 blah. Nope. Where is it at? Let me get it up. Let me get that shit up. Okay.
That's what she said.
Yeah. Wait, let's cancel that real quick. Let's try that again. So the biggest complaint I've heard so far is the his costume. They're like, he looks lame, that looks stupid, it's all fringy, and it looks, you know, stereotypical crap, blah 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 blah, all that shit. This is actually designed and based off authentic native regalia. You know, so it's actually this is actually an outfit that exists in native culture. So there's that. Here is this. Now I'm going to show you this. See that?
Okay.
There's Warpath.
Right.
Looking like he's going to Mardi Gras. You know, all the fringes and the feathers and shit. Yes, if Dances with Wolves was a musical on the Vegas Strip, this would be the fucking costume. Corny as hell. Fringy boots, all that shit. Let's see. Do I get to go? Let's see. Where is it? Okay, whoops. Oh, here's Forge. Here's your boy Forge.
Oh, come on now. Come on. You can't talk shit about Forge, man. Come on.
Forge. Look at this. Spandex fucking leotards. But hey, down here we have fuzzy, fringy buckskin boots. Like what? They couldn't give him standard combat boots?
The pirate boots, like, you know, Captain America used to have, you know, the booties, you know.
You know, and you know, so fringy boots there. Everybody's got fringy boots. Here's Danny Moonstar as a Valkyrie, and look at, she's got fringy buckskin boots too.
Even though she's a Norse god or whatever.
Even though she's a Norse god, they still had to give her feathers and leather. Yeah. Here's Shaman. You know, same
okay,
shit.
I can't say anything about Shaman.
You know, spandex leotard.
You got me there.
Spandex leotard, fringy boots. You know,
like Marvel can't even talk me out of this one. It's like, well, what we meant. Nope, there's nothing you can do about that.
If Squanto was a ballet, here's the outfit.
What are his powers? He's native.
Yeah, and of course, here's fucking Red Wolf. You know,
I'm trying to like Red Wolf. They really push Red Wolf for like 2 seconds, and it was like, nah.
Yeah, see, Red Wolf, really corny, really stereotypical. But this was back in the 70s, right? It was like, yeah, this is back in the 70s, right?
That's his redesign.
This is like let's update him. But this image is from the 70s. This is from
okay.
Yeah, so let's update him. You know, this was 40 years ago. Let's update him to now. Here he is now.
You know, like Billy the Kid. I don't know what.
now his pants got fringes on him and shit.
Yeah, so I don't know where they're going with this. I don't know. It's
So everybody's bitching about the costume, saying it's stereotypical and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, you guys, none of y'all had a problem with all this bullshit that white dudes drew for the past 4 decades.
right.
But now this is an actual Native American designed the costume, which is actually based on actual Native regalia, and everyone's got a problem with it. And even natives are freaking out of it. Why? What? This is not practical in a fight. Why would he wear a powwow outfit in battle and blah 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 blah? And I'm like, it's Captain America. He's got superpowers. He doesn't need a costume. We saw in the first movie he was running down the street with no shirt on and bare feet, chasing after the Nazi.
Yeah, with a tank. Let me see something. Does he have a shield? I mean, he looks like Captain America with a shield.
So yeah, I mean, natives like to be included. So here's some demonstrations.
Okay.
So here's just some native art. A native drew this. Again, he's in a powwow outfit. Sort of, kind of similar to the design. Here's some more examples.
Not too far off from, okay.
Yeah, here's some more examples of native artists drawing versions of Captain America as a native. Just wanting to be included. Just showing their fandom. Here. This went viral a few years ago. Here's a Native American dude cosplaying.
I think I saw this on your page one time. Yeah.
Cosplaying as Captain America a few years ago at Comic-Con. Went viral. Sort of native design as Captain America. Again, just wanting to be included. Here's a beaded necklace that was at a powwow. That people will wear at powwows on their dance outfits when they dance. Here's another one. Red, white, and blue. Here's some more designs. These are just pictures I took. I was like, oh, cool. Look at that.
Okay. Superman, Batman. Okay.
Native art. It's native art. It's natives did this, so it is native art. This is another one that I was like, damn, I want that, but it was like $300. I'm like, damn, that was dope. But I had to take a picture of that.
Not giving you shit.
Here's a picture of. I just love this image. The indigenous Hulk. Treaty's broken. Again, this is a shirt design that they were selling at powwows that I thought was really cool, and I had to get it for my daughter. There's me and my daughter at a powwow, and I
got the indigenous Hulk shirt. Okay,
and she's wearing the shirt. So yeah, people were kind of just bitching about the costume was one thing, but also they were doing. Why would a Native American want to represent a country that oppressed them?
Eli, we just talked about that like 3 weeks ago.
Yes. Why are they using the colors of the flags? Blah 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 blah. I was like, we just talked about the same topic on Falcon and Winter Soldier a few weeks ago, and y'all forgot already.
Like had a whole series about it,
and I get it. I totally get it. I saw, this is one of those Marvel books that they're going to pat themselves on the back for getting woke points and checking boxes and celebrating how diverse they are and never really use the characters ever again. And I know. And we got to stop that.
That's the problem I had.
Yeah.
Like everything else was cool. You want to change the outfit, but the point is we know what they're doing with this character. They're patting themselves on the back. It's virtue signaling. We will never see this character again. Yeah. We may see him 10 years from now.
Yeah.
When some guy that grew up with it just found out, hey, I remember that character from 2021. Let's do another one shot.
Or he'll be in the background and not have any lines or some shit.
Yeah, or he'll be in a trivia contest. What's the name of the first Native American? In that Marvel trivia shit that we always go to. It'll be one of those things. And it'd be a footnote and that's it. And that's the shit that Marvel shouldn't get a pat on the back for.
Yes, they should. If they really want to celebrate diversity, and I'll commend them. I'll give them credit. Yes, you are getting native artists and native writers to write this character. That's all good. But it would be nice if you got people of color to write like the X-Men or the Avengers, put them on a big book.
I mean, it's cool to do Luke Cage, shit like that. But we want to do some big books too,
Yeah. Yeah, so I get that, and that's of course that was also I saw that as well. That was my reaction. That's why I didn't really care. Right, I saw it and laughed. like, oh, there we go. Marvel's doing one of their diversity books. Here, whatever. Rolled my eyes, but whatever. But I laughed at the design. I didn't know it was gonna like within like 10 minutes after the post, like the nerds were losing their mind. Like same
Right.
shit. So of course I got you got to pick a side. I'm a pick the side of my people. So that's what I've been.
Hey,
I'm back to wagon burning, y'all.
And I get it. I understand that. But at the same time, like I said, Marvel should get credit for that. Can we segue to this? Because now I got to talk about some shit.
And again, and in the end, if you don't like it, you ain't got to read it. You ain't the demographic. We are.
He like, tell me that please tell me that didn't feel good just saying that right then.
Yeah, fuck you. It ain't for you, motherfuckers.
You have no power here.
Yeah.
All right. So, like I said, we talked about Joe Gomez, the Captain America. Now, we also talked about some shit that was also really big in the news. Like we just said, we just talked about diversity hire and virtue signaling and patting ourselves in the back. Now we're going to talk about, boom, this. Yeah, that bullshit. Because I think I have to basically say the same shit I said a few months ago whenever we talked about when the news first came out about it. Like I said, everybody talked about that. Michael B. Jordan was going to be Superman, stuff like that. And he was like, yeah, I want to be Val-Zod. But the Hollywood Reporter came out with a report. And it was one of the weirdest freaking interviews, reports that they've ever done. It sounded something exactly like we got this covered. So when I saw just the headline of it, I was like, okay, because if you read it, it's like sources say inside sources. I'm like, aren't you the source? You don't have to do this weird shit like we got this covered. I thought they were going to say our sources, we got this covered. Let me see what we got before I get to this shit. Yes, 616. That's the shit that I'm getting on. Now, like I said, I already went on this rant about how I don't want a black Superman, how I don't want a black Clark Kent, or any of this shit. Even a Val-Zod, even Calvin Ellis, like President Superman. I didn't even want that. Like, just leave that shit alone, because like I said, it's just like we talked about Joe Gomez, the native Captain America. It's the same through shit. They show up with Val-Zod. Val-Zod actually has no personality whatsoever. He barely said anything in that book. People kept pointing at him, you should be Superman. You should be Superman. You should be Superman. You're like, okay. Ripped off Superman's suit, start beating up people, and that's it. We never saw him again. He's another trivia fact. He's another Wikipedia article. That's all he is. There are no stories to that guy. So I'm thinking like this is a bad idea even going down this road. So now they're saying that they're making this story is going to be Kal-El. This is going to be Clark Kent. They're making Clark Kent black. I'm like, that is the dumbest shit ever. So you're taking an idea that's even dumber than what I thought it was going to be and made it even dumber than it was before. So this is definitely virtue signaling. This is the thing. It's like Warner Brothers is like going out of their way to piss off their fans. I guess they think that just because they have Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, people are going to see their movies. Newsflash, we won't. Look at your last box office, your last couple movies. That should tell you.
Everybody hated the last Wonder Woman, yeah.
Exactly. Just because you fake shit don't mean we're going to see it. And every time you do shit like this, make us not want to do it. This Black Superman bullshit that they're making where Ta-Nehisi Coates is writing it, which now I'm so glad that Hollywood is starting to realize how bullshit his writing is now that they're about to suffer the same pain that the comic book fans suffered. So bravo to that. I'm glad you're doing that. But now they're doubling down on getting a black director. I hope it's not a good one. I hope it's not one we like. I hope it's some shitty black director nobody cares about.
Shitty Mario Van Peebles or some shit.
Yeah, have Mario Van Peebles do this shit, because we don't want Ryan Coogler or the guy that did Jesus and the Black Messiah. We don't want him to wreck his career. Don't get him. Get a bullshit director. Get the guy that did one of the Black Lightning CW episodes.
Get Robert Townsend.
Yeah, no. We like Robert Townsend. We like.
Yeah, Meteor Man was cool. Hey,
Meteor Man was cool. Yeah, but
if he turned it into a comedy, it would be Meteor Man. He did do Black Superman already.
Yeah, he already did Black Superman. So just like, this is just the dumbest idea ever, man. It's more virtue signaling. Here's the thing. Black people see through this shit from a mile away. And it's a bad idea when you have the racist, redneck ass geek nerds hating this shit and the target demographic hating this shit. That should tell you maybe we're doing a bad idea. Maybe we shouldn't do this. I know. But DC just doubling down.
Yeah. I try to, me, I try to be nice, I'm trying, I guess like for me, it's like, and I'm not even a Superman fan, I bet, I loved Donner's Superman movies, but those were like 40 years ago. I was a little kid.
Right.
But we don't have, I mean, I didn't like Man of Steel. I didn't like the Brandon Routh Superman, so it's like, I feel we don't have a Superman for this generation.
Right.
That has
because
clicked.
that Zack Snyder Superman felt like Zack Snyder Superman.
Yeah, he was like Dark Knight, sad sap Superman. I didn't like that one. So it's like they don't have a Superman to define this generation. And it's like, okay, if you can't even get regular Superman right, what are you trying to do?
But see, we know what they're doing. Like I said, DC is always 2 steps behind Marvel. So this is the same thing. They saw Black Panther, all the money it's making. They see Black Captain America, how it's going like that. So they realize that they could just take one of their popular characters, race swap them, and they think it just make money. It doesn't work like that. We see through the bullshit. We see what you're doing. We see you don't have a real character. You don't have a plan. You're just taking a character. And this is basically blackface. That's basically what it is. If you want to just call it out. Even though we got a black writer, it's still white producers doing this shit. So what they're doing is just taking one of their popular characters instead of taking an actual black character like Icon, or even throw like a good Black Lightning movie on the big screen that we'd actually see. You want to do this bullshit where everybody knows Superman is white. You can't, and that's the thing. How do we need to stop doing this shit? Stop when you
make
can't.
A cyborg movie and
or make a real cyborg movie, like an actual realistic one. You know what's funny about it? Ray Fisher could play this Black Superman and nobody would even give a fuck. You just play cyborg, nobody knows you, man. Just fuck it. Get him to play Black Superman since you want to be in this shit so bad. So that's the thing. You got the good characters that you could do, but you're gonna just throw them to the shelves so you can just take a character that you can't sell, thinking if you race swap them, Black people just gonna get behind this shit. No, we're not. You know why they're not, Eli? Because of guys like us. We're not gonna do it. Here's the thing about all these superhero movies and all this superhero TV show shit like that. Any casual fan, before they go see this shit, the first thing they do, Eli, is ask us what we think about it. And you get all the time, like that. Some bullshit Endgame, Infinity War, people not in this shit. They're gonna ask you, Eli, what do you think about this movie? And based on your opinion, you're gonna tell them whether or not they should see it or not. And you know what they're gonna say when they're all said and done? They said it was good. It was just you, Eli. You don't want to say it. You're they. They are you. You are they. Hold on, let's go to this. So Marvel's making DC look like irrelevant. Here's the thing about it. I'm one of the biggest DC fans you'll find. Love the DC comics. They have their waves, but they're okay. I listen to them. The cartoons, awesome. Love the cartoons. Video games, awesome. But their movie division, I don't know what the fuck is going on with them. They are terrible. I mean, yeah, every now and then they'll have a hit movie like Joker or some shit like that, or Aquaman shit like that. But the thing is, they're so inconsistent. It's really like they're just throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks. Yes, some shit will stick if you're throwing that shit at the wall, but they're too inconsistent. This shit like that, if everybody is telling you it's a bad idea and nobody is liking the idea, why are you continuing on with this idea? It's done.
I mean, I want to be optimistic and say, well, Into the Spider-Verse was awesome. I love that. I watched that on the reg, but I don't know.
But see, that's the thing. People are comparing this to Miles Morales, or comparing this, or even to Captain Marvel, anything like that. It's not, or Miss Marvel. It's not the same because, like I said, Miles Morales was actually a fleshed out character in the comics before he even made it to the movies. And plus, Miles Morales and Peter Parker are two different people. I'm not saying one's black, one's white. No, they're two different personalities. When you read a Miles Morales comic, he has a different voice than a Peter Parker comic. So when you're reading, they're two separate characters. They did the work. Marvel did the work with that character. Kamala Khan is not like Monica Rambeau or not like Carol Danvers. They're all different characters. They're literally just taking Clark Kent and just making them black. And you already know what they're going to do, Eli. If this movie fails, they're going to blame it on black people. That's what they're going to do. Well, we gave you a movie. You didn't see it. We're not going to give you shit else. So now you just fucked up everything else. So that's why if you want to get a Black Lightning or a Cyborg movie, they're not going to give a shit because we didn't go see fucking Black Superman, even though nobody asked for this shit. We'd rather see Steel. Give us another Steel reboot movie. We watch that shit. Other than this shit, So I don't know. I don't know what else to say about
Yeah,
this.
like,
It's
or
just-
John Jones or John Stewart. Like basically the shit you want. Yeah, the shit we actually want to see. They're not doing.
right. It's like
Yeah.
Warner Brothers going out of their way. Like if you ask for it, don't give it to them.
Yeah,
I don't-
like, oh, here's a Green Lantern show. John Stewart ain't in it.
You're right. We got everybody else but John Stewart. Remember all the one Green Lantern you like? He's not here.
Yeah.
Watch our shit. He said he hates the 9/11 responders. Eli, I don't know what to think about Coates. I really don't. I'm not going to talk about Coates because I always said that I was going to talk bad about black people on this show. So I'm not going to talk about Coates. So.
Well, we already shit on his Black Panther comic enough. So
Yeah, okay. So technically, I won't shit on Coates, but I would have shit on the shit Coates does.
Yeah.
Thank you, Leela. I'm glad you gave me that loophole. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
And he did do his Captain America run was good for a while.
For 10 issues, 12.
For a
I'll
10
give you
issue, and then until the Daughters of Liberty, where Echo didn't do a damn thing.
that. Then he did it again. And that's what I'm like. If Coates supposed to be this woke activist shit like that, why did he agree to do this bullshit? I don't know, Eli. I'm done. I'm done talking about him. Yeah, before I even go down that road, I'm done talking
I
about
mean,
him.
yeah, I understand. This is a movie, whereas the Native Captain America is like a one-shot comic no one's gonna buy, yet it's still pissing everybody off.
It's the same thing, Eli. That's what I'm saying. It's the same thing. The Native Captain America, the Black Superman, it's not the same. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Because the Native Captain America, once they get your dollars, Eli, like I said, you're the target demographic.
Yeah.
Let's get your dollars. They're gonna put them back on the shelf, and you'll never see them again. Same thing with this Black Superman. Once they get my dollars, and they think I'm gonna go out and promote this shit just because I saw Black Panther like 5-6 times in the theater, they think anything black I'm just gonna see. Nope, doesn't work like that. Doesn't work. Ask Tyler Perry. That shit don't work like that. I don't see that shit. So the same thing with this movie. You put that shit out, I promise you, I guarantee you, black people will see the bull. First off, Warner Brothers' name is shit anyway. I mean, when you see DC in the general public's mind, you automatically think shit movie. Like it's just that's what you think. So if you see Black Superman that couldn't sell before and you just race swapped it to something else, you just think like, nah, I'm not watching this. It's like Batwoman, like Batwoman. Like they've already recast a white Batwoman again. So this Black Batwoman, she's on the way out already anyway. But they promoted the hell out of it. They told us, oh, you need to watch, you need to support. We representing you, and they just had this shit for like one season to just toss it to the side. So, Hollywood is so tone deaf about what's going on to the world around them. That's kind of why they're being left behind. That's why nobody's seeing this shit. Not just this. Anytime they just race swap some shit like that, or even reading the comics like that. Like I said, if you want to do some shit like that, do the work first. It can work if you do the work. Black Nick Fury work. Black Spider-Man work. Carol Danvers work. I even though I give Brie Larson her shit. Captain Marvel works. But yeah, this is some bullshit. Let's see what we got. 616 man. DC Animal Johnson defines generation.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but they're using everybody but him. So it's like DC has the characters they could make money off of it. We don't want to do this dumb shit. You know what it is, Eli? They have no black executives in it. You can tell. You can just tell there are no black people making decisions at Warner Brothers because somebody would tell you not to do this shit. This is a bad idea.
Yeah.
So,
especially if like a Superman fan would be like, yeah, I want to see a Superman movie.
Right. I'm one of the biggest Superman fans you'll meet, and I don't want to see this shit. Oh man. Let's move past it. All right, let's talk about something good. Actually, you know what? Yeah, let's talk about something good. We're gonna talk about not that.
That ain't good.
Fuck, I just made this shit. I can't find it. I was gonna talk about Rutherford Falls.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I want to talk about Rutherford Falls. I got a chance to actually see it, but where is it? TV review. Here we go. Okay. Rutherford Falls, Leroy's review. Now, the reason I want to talk about Rutherford Falls, like I said, you got a chance to talk about it last week. I just didn't get a chance to because I was busy. But here's the thing, Eli. I got a chance to see the first 3 episodes.
Okay.
Now, the reason I couldn't, there's 10 out, right?
Yeah, 10. Yeah, 10.
Okay. Now, the reason I couldn't watch the 10, all 10 episodes, because the Peacock app is bullshit. That app is terrible. That app sucks. Because there is no Fire Stick app on there. So I'm thinking like I'm going to sit down, watch Rutherford Falls, see what I think about it, watch it. No app whatsoever. I'm like, fuck. So I had to hook up my computer. And then I did realize that if you log in, if you have if you pay for Xfinity, then you can log in. You can upgrade to the premium pass of Peacock, but they didn't recognize it, so I still couldn't watch anything.
What the fuck, man?
Right. So I'm
Yeah.
like, this app is
But-
fucked up.
Yeah, because I got it on the Roku. I got a Roku TV, so I have the app.
Right.
You know, but yeah, I mean, like I said, not quite primetime American television that I was hoping for. It
Right.
is on a stream. It is on a bullshit app. You know.
And they really make you work for this to even watch this show, because it's not like I said, they only got 2 exclusive shows on there, this and some other Spice Girls bullshit or whatever like that thing. So you have to look for that. You have to find this app. I mean, find this show on the app. Like, if you only have exclusive show, why are you showing like 2005 episodes of Saturday Night Live? Show this shit. You know, so I finally sat down, watched the show, Eli. Awesome show. I thought it was funny. Just the first 3 episodes, I get what they're going with it. Now, I know this isn't the show that you were looking for. You broke down on the podcast the show you were looking for. It's not 100% your show, Eli, but I give it to you. I say they did 50% of what you were looking for. 50% better than nothing.
It's close. It's close.
45% of what you were looking for, but 45 is better than nothing.
Yeah.
You know, I get what they were doing. When you first watch this show, it feels like it's the whole show is about Ed Helms, like it's his show, and he's pretty much playing every character he's ever played before. He's a fuck up. He's an idiot. He screws up everything. But then the more you get into those, at least those first 3 episodes I got into, it starts drifting away from him because you realize he's a fucking idiot. He didn't know what the hell's going on. And the girl, the woman on the show, she's always fixing his mistake. He's always getting this shit. He's always fucking up. She's always there to clean up his mess. And I thought, and I'm wondering, do people catch on to what's going on there? But it's kind of like Christopher Priest with his Black Panther run. Like, he made it where Kate Everett Ross was the narrator, was the main focus, the lead of the show. But he always made him the fuck up, made him the idiot, made him the beta male, that Black Panther was always, always awesomer. Because they realized that to sell this show, you got to have Ed Helms to sell it. At least at this point right now, like I said, you got to walk before you run. This is water in the desert, so you got to give us Ed Helms. He can't be in anything else, so just put him in this shit right here. Because he's not even funny, but everybody reacting around him is funny. That's the funny shit. So that's what I like about that. Terry so far is my favorite character. Don't tell me his arc ain't like that. I'm gonna watch it.
Okay.
He's like a Bond villain. That's what I like about him.
Yeah, that's Michael Grey Eyes. He's one of our more popular native actors.
You can tell he's like he has gravitas to him.
Yeah, yeah. He's gotten work. He was in Blood Quantum. He's been in a bunch of movies and TV shows. Walking Dead. Yeah, he's one of the few native actors that gets a lot of work.
Yeah, you can tell because, like I said, everybody else in the show. But when he shows up, you're like, hey, I've never seen this guy before, but he has screen presence.
Yeah,
So
like I said, it's funny because he's always doing dramatic roles. It's funny watching him be in comedy now. He's showing his range, which I thought was cool.
Because like I said, with these first 3 episodes, you're still trying to figure him out. You like, because he's good. He's doing good stuff. Like he's good, or how would I want to say this? He has good intentions. I'll put it like that.
Yeah. It sucks that you didn't get, because episode 4 goes into his backstory, and you understand him, and that episode 4 is like classic. It's one of my favorites.
Okay. Because you can tell he's taking advantage of Ed Helms. Because like I said, Ed Helms is an idiot. So he's taking advantage of it. Like, it's kind of fucked up, but at the same time, I don't kind of blame you, because he's kind of condoned, and the whole show gets into about history and stuff like that, and how Ed Helms, I don't want to say whitewashes history, but he kind of like glazes over the deep dark parts of history. He just look at the bright side of it, but it's a whole layer of it that he's just ignoring and just oblivious to and just ignorant to. And that's the thing about it. There's a lot of people out there to the history. It's not that they're being mean about it, malicious about it. They're just ignorant. Yeah, about what all this stuff.
And they explore that more in later episodes.
Right. And that's but the thing is, they couldn't hit you with that in the pilot episode. They had to ease you into it, because you like the last 5 minutes of the first episode. You get, I get it now. They flipped it on you. You think it's about him, but it's really about something else. So I like in
the first 5 minutes, he's talking about the statue of his ancestor, and then you see the native kid who's wearing a land back shirt. You know,
Right.
again, us natives pick up on that. A little native kids, are there any native statues in town? Yeah.
Oh man, so yeah, so honestly, I'm liking the show. I'm liking how the arc is going. So don't worry about it. Next time we talk, I'll have watched the whole episode. I mean, I'll watch the whole season. I'll figure out something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah. So moving on past that. Hell, I guess we go move to the next part of the podcast.
All right.
Unless there was something else that. What is this? Oh no, I didn't do that. Okay, so like I said, if you listen this long, definitely not like, share, subscribe. We don't leave yet. The people that are here. Like I said, it's Comic Book Bullies, where we talk about the comic books, and we're just gonna jump into it. And Eli, like I said, a book came out called Heroes Reborn. Now I think I do need to set this up. Now, if for those that are familiar with comics and you read comics back in the 90s, stuff like that, Heroes Reborn might sound familiar because that was back in the 90s where Rob Liefeld, Jim Lee, and Will Porstechio, I'm pretty sure I'm screwing his name up, but they basically took all of the heroes that couldn't sell, like Iron Man, Captain America, the Avengers. They couldn't sell books, so they just put them in their own universe and just did whatever the hell they wanted to do. So this is not that. This is something completely different that has nothing to do with that whatsoever. This is about let me see if I can get to that. Nope, that's share screen. Oh yeah, stop it. Okay. So yeah, this is about a whole new thing. And honestly, Eli, I didn't even bother trying to figure out what's the backstory behind this or why this is going on. I just jumped into it. I feel like I pick it up as I go along. It couldn't be that complicated, can it? I mean, fuck it. It's a comic, so shit. Basically, the base way to explain this book is that it's Age of Apocalypse. Everybody remembers Age of Apocalypse back.
Or House of M. Or
House of M. And the reason I say it's like Age of Apocalypse because it's the same thing that in Age of Apocalypse, everybody didn't know what the hell was going on. It was an alternate dimension. The only person that knew what was going on was Bishop. You know, why did Bishop know what was going on? Because he has time traveling powers. So in this, they made it Blade. Why does Blade have these powers that he knows what everything's going on? He's on one. Vampires? I don't know. Fuck it. Who cares? Just jump into it. Because at the end of the day, Eli, this is just a 30-page toy commercial. That's all it is. I'm just giving my review of this book right now. Let's see if I can jump into it, see what's going on. Yeah. So basically, the book starts off to go into it. We're looking at Robbie Reyes. And you hear a narrator talking. You think it's Robbie Reyes, but it's actually not Robbie Reyes. It's Blade. And for those that don't know, Robbie Reyes is the secret identity of Ghost Rider. But he's not Ghost Rider. He has no powers. He's never heard of a Ghost Rider, never heard of Blade, never heard of the Avengers, never heard of none of that stuff. So Blade's just like, what the fuck? So he's like, hey, kid, where are the Avengers? He's like, get the fuck away from me, you know. Because basically, Blade is a homeless bum that's been living in like, I don't know, some mall or something like that. But then you notice at the back of it, re-elect Coulson. So they tell it later on, I just spoil it for you. Phil Coulson is the president in this universe from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. You know, now here is where I started getting to the part that me and Gomer was talking about earlier, because even though this is just a shitty toy commercial, this whole book, at the same time, it's also one of the most politically charged books of 2021. I'm going to tell you why, because the book starts off, basically the whole book is about Dr. Doom. He was, you know, he had his own kingdom in Latveria, but the U.S. government stepped in where they made it where Latveria had to have a fair and honest election, which has never happened before. So they had a fair and honest election. Dr. Doom lost the vote. So he's blaming the United States government for rigging the election. So what does he do? He goes to the U.S. Capitol, gets his army of goons, and they storm the U.S. Capitol. Eli, does that sound familiar to you?
It does sound familiar.
It does sound familiar. I'm trying to like nobody caught on to this, but I guess they just got caught up in the toy commercial shit, and that's it. But anyway, that's the story. Go into it. Oh, and yeah, he turns into Dr. Juggernaut. Who gives a fuck? Yeah. Like I said, that shit I didn't give a fuck about. I was like, oh, that's cool, I guess. You know, whatever. So, okay.
I guess. I didn't pick up on that when I first read it, but, you know, I mean, yeah, I'm sure, you know, it's cool.
Yeah, it's whatever. Okay, so going back to what we were talking about, like I said, and here's the thing: we go to Hyperion. So people don't know who Hyperion is. Like I said, there is no Avengers in this universe. it is a Squadron Supreme. And a Squadron Supreme is basically Justice League, like a rip-off Justice League. So what you have here is Hyperion fighting amalgamation of Doctor Doom and Juggernaut. Because the reason he's Juggernaut because he has the Cyteract gem, which basically what gives Juggernaut his power. So since Doctor Doom stole it, he's Juggernaut. So they fight. This is what I want to tell you. I want to see right here. He said, "You turn my country against me. I'm trying to take my country back." He's using all these phrases, these triggering phrases. It was a fair election. This is the first time ever. It's the most fair election that's ever been held. And we would stand up for freedom, not fascism, and that shit like that. Oh, and also Dr. Doom. He tries to choke Hyperion, and Hyperion breaks his arm with his neck.
Yeah, I thought that was
flexes, he flexes his neck so hard he breaks the motorized in his arm or something like that. And then so that's the whole point. But that's how you know that they're talking about the U.S. Capitol, because, like I said, they're literally attacking the U.S. Capitol. They have like some venom goop going on, and then you have their version of Batman, Nighthawk. Nighthawk's been around forever. He was white. They race changed him. Who gives a fuck? He's in the night plane, and he's got the night computer. And, he's doing all this shit, and he's fucking them, man. He's fighting the Black Skull. Kind of cool design. I see it. He's leader of Hydra, So, whatever. Oh, Doctor Strange doesn't exist. Jennifer Walters still a lawyer. Hulk got shipped off into the, not the Phantom Zone, the Negative Zone. This is Dr. Spectrum, their Green Lantern. He's going from the Pentagon, and he has to fight... Let's just get to it. Yeah, Tony Stark, he's drunk. He never went to the cave, so he never did whatever. Captain America never got unfrozen. The typical shit. I feel like I've read this story before, Eli. I don't know. I feel like this is some old shit or whatever like that. Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver died. Scarlet Witch used her hex power to absorb his power. So now she's a super speed sorceress, whatever. And I can't remember, is this the Wizard or is it Speed Freak or is it Speed Demon? They have some, I don't know who the fuck this guy is. He runs fast. He's Flash, whatever. So you got Magog fighting, not War Woman, Power Princess or whatever. So anyway, this book sucked. Whatever. I just like that little thing that they talk about. Because I feel like I've read this book before. That's just like I was just zoning out. Yeah, like I said. Oh, and Coast is the bad guy. If you didn't know Coast was the bad guy, he's the bad guy. You don't know it yet. You know it at the end of the story because he's got the brow. The brow, look at this evilness, So he's got the Secret Service around him. So yeah, whatever. That's Squadron Supreme. Blade finds Captain America. I guess it's supposed to be shocking. I guess I don't know, but I kind of knew that was going to happen. So fuck this book. Anyway, I just wanted to just talk about the actual. Like I said, ignore all the toy commercial shit they had going on and actually talk about the comic book. Because here's the thing, Eli. Even though this book sucked. This book is the reason why I read comics. Because, hold on, let's see what you got here. He was Reborn, definitely new merchandising and toys. If Marvel is smart, they would have some Funko Pops of Dr. Doom Juggernaut up and ready to go. I don't know how smart they are, but we'll see how they go. But yeah, the reason I read comics is because comics, for the most part, have always been about all this fantastical shit, all this fantasy, sci-fi stuff. But at the end of the day, the writers are always throwing in coded messages of what they're trying to say, and they just slip it right under your nose. And people don't get mad until they actually catch the message of it. Eli, you ever notice that a nerd will always say the first thing? Nobody's asked them, but they'll just say to somebody, the X-Men is a metaphor for the civil rights. But if they ever tell a story about the actual civil rights, those same nerds will say, "Why are you throwing these politics in my comics? Get this shit out of here. What the fuck is this shit?" I guess it's cool if it's a metaphor, but it's thrown in your face. You don't like it. So I don't know. Yeah. But that's the thing I like about this. Jason Aaron through a coded message, because this is obviously political satire. The whole thing with Dr. Doom and the Legion of Evil or whatever. I can't remember the name of it.
Legion of...
They're the Masters of Doom,
Masters of Doom.
Whatever the fuck they are. Yeah. It doesn't matter. But the point is, he brought these guys here to storm the Capitol because he lost the election. And it's Dr. Doom basically playing Donald Trump. I love it. I'm glad it's a coded message. Eli, I'm glad we're the only ones to catch on to this shit. Because if it ever caught on, the Hollywood...
You caught on it. I just whatever. I only read this because I thought you would read it. So
I didn't give a fuck about this book, baby. I'll read the rest of it just because.
Oh, really? Okay. It's coming out like every week.
We'll see.
But it'll be done like in next month, though.
I may read every other book because I already know what the end.
Because it's like it's an event. There's a bunch of tie-ins, but I think the main books come out every week, and there's only 4 or 5 issues, so it'll be done like next month.
Yeah.
If you read it, I'll read it.
I'll decide next week. I'm not going to make a decision just yet.
Yeah.
Because like I said, it's Jason Aaron. I don't take Jason Aaron seriously with the story because he just feels like he's just making big toy commercials with that whole Phoenix shit he did and that other stuff he did and the big Galactus, whatever. So this one I didn't really care too much about it anyway. But that little shit he threw in there by January 6th, that caught my attention. So that's all I got. What you got next?
I'll do Immortal Hulk.
Cool. Okay.
Immortal Hulk number 46, still dope. We start off. We are at Shadow Base. We have Puck and the reporter. What's her name? I forget her name. Dan McGowan.
Jackie McGee. McGowan. Okay.
Yeah. No, Dr. McGowan's there. Yeah, McGee. Yeah, that's her name. And then,
because it was Jack McGee was from the TV show.
Yeah, and then Shaman's there, Puck's there. They're trying to like unmutate Rick Jones, you know, because he's all fucking weird and mutated and shit. But he's saying that he needs to save Bruce because Bruce is his friend. He's always saved me. So then, you know, they need to go. Basically, they need to find Bruce. Back in Jersey, the UFOs were beating the shit out of, Joe Fixit, who was weak Hulk. He didn't have strong Hulk powers. He was kind of weak, and they beat the shit out of him, killed him, sent him to Green Hell, got possessed. What do you call it? The Savage Hulk's body came back because it's the Immortal Hulk. He keeps reincarnating. So he comes back, takes over Joe Fixit's body. So now Joe Fixit has Savage Hulk's body, and he beats the shit out of the UFOs, and it's great. That's what basically happens. It's just a whole huge fight. Joe Fixit as Savage Hulk beats the shit out of the UFOs, fucks them up. We go to what the hell is going on? Okay, what's his face? The guy, I can't remember his name. He's the one he's at Alpha Flight Space Station. He's the one who was in charge of the UFOs, who sent the UFOs in the battle to get the Hulk. He's like, damn it, I didn't want to do this, but this is my last resort. He decides to call the Avengers.
Oh, it finally called. Oh, okay. So of course the book ends at that.
No, it does not.
Oh, it doesn't? Oh, okay.
No. So we go. Joe Fixit, after he beats the shit out of the UFOs, he goes into a bar. He's drinking. Everyone's kind of freaking out. He's like, "Don't worry, I'm not going to trash your bar. Just keep him coming." He's in drinking beers. Then all of a sudden, Thor shows up.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, Thor shows up and they start fighting in the bar, start trashing the bar. They go outside and then the rest of the Avengers are there. They're like, okay, we didn't want to have to do this, but, you've been fucking everything up. We don't want
She-Hulk's there too? Oh,
yes.
Man, it's messed up.
Yeah. They're like, last time, we had to destroy that town. They blew up a town trying to fucking kill the Hulk. Last time the Avengers tried to stop the Hulk. They blew up that whole town in Iowa. It's like we're even though and Black Panther's talking shit is like even though you're got your powers back, it's still 7 against 1. And all of a sudden, nope, it's 7 against 2.
Okay.
And oh shit, and it's Harpy. Kind of romantic.
Okay.
Kind of romantic. You and me against the world.
Right, but why is She-Hulk fighting him? Why is she going against blood? That's blood.
Well, this is Joe Fixit. I don't know. He's fucking everything up.
You think She-Hulk would be like, hold up, this is my cousin. I'm gonna just jump over his side. It'd be 6 on 3, So,
and they don't even really know what's happening. All they know is when the Hulk shows up, shit starts happening. Shit starts getting destroyed. So, but no, it isn't. This is 4 out of 5. I know there's not many issues left, so we're going towards the end,
So did Al Ewing say he's finishing at 50 or what?
Is it 50 or is it?
Because you're at 46 right now.
Yeah. Is it 50 or is it 50? I think it is 50. Is it 50? I forget. But yeah, I know it's not. There's not much left. So
Interesting.
Yeah.
So all right. Well, let me get to the next one. Okay. Like I said, this next book I decided to give it I decided to stay with it. This is Green Lantern #2. See exactly what's going on with this book. So that's how I see what, like I said, black director. I'm talking about black writer, black artist, all black Green Lantern team. I was like, why not? I'll read it, see what they're going on. So what we have here is, let's see if I can get there. Yeah, boom. Okay, so we're in there. All right. So based on the book, the book last time ended with one of the Guardians getting killed, getting assassinated. So John Stewart, who's now the leader of the Green Lantern Corps, they gave him some name like Alpha Lantern or Quad Lantern or something like that. He's talking to every Green Lantern in the universe, basically telling them that you got to attend a funeral because we lost one of the Guardians of the universe. You know, one of our bosses. So you gotta show up there, show your best outfit, and we're gonna have a conversation. So they fight a dragon. Don't give a shit. What do we talk about? So yeah, so they all, like I said, they all have this long funeral about and they have this casket, and what they do, since he's a guardian, they like the body never really died like this. So they should put the body into the battery, you know, the big green battery on Oa that gives them all their powers like this. So they put his battery, he's one with the battery now. So while they're doing that, they go to their phase 2 or what they were talking about. And basically what they're saying is that we decided to make a executive decision. Since we are now all part of the Galactic Council level like that, we don't need all of you. So we're basically laying some of you off. Like 1,200 sectors, we're getting rid of. You no longer have a post there. They're like, wait, what the fuck? Yeah, we're making budget cuts. So the people that don't have a planet to go to, we're sending you in like deep outer space because you don't have anything else to do, you know. And then everybody is, pissed off, and they're like, wait, what the fuck? Like, we don't have you just letting us leave our home planet because, they have like 7 Green Lanterns on Earth, and now like 6 of them have to leave, So, Jessica Cruz is like, well, what the fuck just happened? Guy Gardner's pissed, of course. Kilowog's pissed. Hal Jordan's like, you need me to get you back, John? And he's like, nah, I got this. And he flies off. Oh, I forgot to tell you, the writer of this book hates Hal Jordan. So
I think you said that last time. Yeah.
Yeah, he a big controversy about it. They were like, "Oh, maybe you don't like Hal Jordan because he's white." I mean, Guy Gardner's on the book, so whatever. John Stewart flies. He was like, "Hal, I got this. I'm gonna talk to the guards by myself." He basically talked to the guard like, "What the hell did y'all just do? Y'all just laid off all of the most of the lanterns just because you with this council stuff like that?" You're like, John, they basically saying like, John Stewart, we have a reason for that. There's a reason there's 7 lanterns on the planet Earth. He was like, why is that? Because every universe has 7 planets they have to take care of in order to keep that universe rolling, and Earth is one of those most important planets. And then he shows them the thing. Yeah, he's slow. So he shows them like all these planets right here have to be protected. And then John looks at him. He's like, I want to see 5 planets. They're like, oh yeah, Krypton was one of those planets. We kind of fucked that up, but that's okay. Now the 7th planet, John, you fucked that up because there's one planet. If one thing about John Stewart that any Green Lantern fans know is that there was a planet that he blew up named Zekshi or whatever. He didn't basically blame him blowing up. And every single Green Lantern writer, every time he shows up, will always remind the reader that he blew up a planet and it's his fault, So basically what they're doing, they're sending every single Green Lantern out to like deep space, past the space where they can't even find it. They were like, well, I can't go there by myself. You just want me to go there by myself? Like, no, we're not sending you by yourself. We're sending thousands of all the Green Lanterns that don't have a planet anymore to survey. You're all going out there to the dark sector, but you can't go there by yourself. You have to go there in a ship. So they make a ship and then they're going to fly out there, to the dark sector and just see what's going on. Because apparently there's something going out there that is so far away. The Guardians, who know everything in the universe, can't find out. So John tells the little teen Lantern girl that has the Chronos Gauntlet, you're like, I need you to watch after Simon Bass. Simon Bass, I need you to watch after the girl. And John and the rest of the Lanterns go fly off into space. While they're doing that, something happens Boom, the lantern blows up, the battery blows up, the battery that gives them all of their powers. Why it blew up? I don't know. Watch for the next year. Yeah, so damn near everybody on Oa dies. This mystical person that we don't know about sitting in the chair. So like this was mercy for you, Green Lanterns. So while that and everybody sees, like all the big players in this see it, like the Wave Rider sees it. Kyle Rayner's in space, and I don't know if he's dead or he loses power or what. Like that, they don't really explain it. Mongul sees it. He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm glad y'all fucked up." So while that's going on, one Green Lantern flies to Oa. They're like, "Where are the Green Lanterns? Why is everybody here?" Like, and basically the ring tells the Green Lantern that nobody is there. Nobody's there with a Green Lantern ring. And if Lantern, they see the Teen Lantern, but technically she's not a Green Lantern, so she doesn't count. Meanwhile, she protected Simon Baz. I think look like he's fucked up. So I don't know if he's alive or not. And it turns out it's Joe. Because she was the star of that Dark Sector book, so Joe is here, act like where the fuck are the Green Lanterns? So yeah, that's the book. So it's getting my attention. It's doing enough to hold my attention. It's like a lot happened, but a lot didn't happen. So yeah, yeah.
Seems a bit easier to follow than the Grant Morrison. That was just weird.
Oh yeah, I didn't know what the fuck. Yeah, Grant Morrison loved taking everything and shoving it up its own ass. I don't know what the hell he was doing. In that book, so, yeah.
It was good for a while, but then after a while, it's like
like he's making fun of Bendis in his book. Like, what the fuck does Bendis have to do with your Green Lantern book? Oh yeah. So.
Let's see what else do I got. Still on Marvel. I'll do. I'll do Star Wars Bounty Hunters or War of the
Bounty Hunters Alpha #1.
Yeah.
Tongue twister. Okay.
So this is between Empire and Return of the Jedi. Boba Fett has Han Solo frozen in carbonite. But I guess the carbonite is melting. Again, I did not know that could happen.
I thought carbonite was supposed to last like thousands of years or something.
I don't know, but it's melting, or there's something fucked up. The canister's fucked up that he's in, and it's like malfunctioning, and he's melting. He's melting. So he needs to like get it fixed before Han Solo ends up dying in it. And I guess he's supposed to bring Han Solo alive to Jabba. That's like that was the deal.
Right.
So
but Vader also said if Han Solo were to die, the Empire was going to pay him back.
Yeah, that is true. No disintegrations, but the Empire will compensate you. Yeah.
Vader probably saying, "I change my mind. I ain't doing shit."
Yeah. So again, why we ripping this saga apart, every minute detail, I don't know, but whatever. So Boba Fett goes to this planet, goes to this dude's like, "Hey man, this thing is fucked up. It's he's melting. I need to get it fixed." He's like, "Yeah, sure. But I need the money. I need to pay up front." He's like, "I ain't got the money up front, but I promise you I will get you back." He's like, that's how it works here. I need the money up front, or I can't do it. But if you want to make a quick payment, I need this chick assassinated. And then if you do that, we're good. So he's like, okay, fine. Turns out this like female warrior that he wants killed is like some champion gladiator. So Boba Fett has to enter this gladiator fight, and
he can't just snipe him and be done with it.
Yeah, well, he says he could just do that, but she's protected by the gangsters because she's this champion gladiator that wins all these fights, and they bet on the fights and they make all this money. So
so if he snipes her, he makes enemies with them. So okay.
Yeah. So he's like, okay, but I can't go. Everyone is going to recognize me. So what he ends up doing, he ends up painting he paints his armor black, and he calls himself Django.
Ah, okay.
and enters the tournament, for Mortal Kombat,
The Kumite. Okay.
And it turns out, so they make this reference. Is this on the Geonosis planet? I don't know. Or maybe he's getting flashbacks. I'm not sure. I don't remember if they named the planet or not. But he's getting flashbacks of the arena from episode 2, where his dad died in the arena.
Awesome pick. Okay. Panel.
So yeah, he fucking, fights in the tournament, kills everybody, whipping ass, ripping off heads and shit. Then he finally gets to face off the champion. So this warrior woman, it turns out she's some spider chick. She's like a spider alien chick,
Oh, okay.
and she's got this weird, if you can see this weird arena, the level, the location level is some like weird spider web level. So, he fights her, and it's a really cool action scene. He ends up, of course, it's Boba Fett, he ends up killing her, wins the tournament, wins all this money. But then the gangsters are like, hey, yo, that was our champion. You're gonna have to like fight for us now. But he's like, no, that's okay. So he ends up like giving them most of the money and just keeps the money to go pay for, to get the carbonite fixed. He's like, I just need this. You guys can keep the rest. And he walks away. He goes back to dude with the carbonite, about to go pay that guy to fix the carbonite thing. But then, let's get that going. Before he shows up, that dude gets shot.
Oh, the carbonite guy?
Yeah, the carbonite guy is supposed to fix the carbonite, gets shot.
Oh, damn.
By some other bounty hunters, and they steal Han Solo.
What the fuck?
And yeah, so Boba Fett shows up and is like, damn it, I gotta go find Han Solo. Yeah. And that basically, this kicks off the war of the bounty. And meanwhile, Jabba's like, so you're gonna show up soon with Han Solo, and he's like, yeah, I'll be right there. And this kicks off the story. At first, when I first heard about this, I'm like, we don't need any more Skywalker saga shit.
They could have easily took the Han Solo part out, put some other MacGuffin in there.
Yeah,
and it'd been fine.
Yeah, we don't need any of this shit. But you know what? This was fun. This is a lot of fun. The art is dope. Watching Boba Fett, like, look at his art. Like, he's just fucking up aliens, like ripping off heads and shit. And it's just, if you're just gonna give me Boba Fett kicking ass, I'm on board. I don't care.
We're easy to please.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And from what I understand, there's like, I don't know, 20 tie-ins to this shit. This is
huge. Really? No, this is a thing. Okay.
Yeah, it's crossing over with the Star Wars book, with the Bounty Hunter book, the Darth Vader book, Dr. Aphra, and then it's got its own War of the Bounty Hunters main book. So, and this is going on till October. IG-88 #1, like,
that would have been, it's been a cool ass movie. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? If you're just gonna give me Boba Fett doing gangster shit, I'm sold. I don't know if I'll get all the tie-ins, but I think I'm on board. So yeah, this was my book out of the week. 5 out of 5. Fuck it, I don't care. It was fun.
All right. So the last book I got, and I'm thankful for Gomer for telling me this book was out, because I probably would have missed it if he didn't say anything. So I can't find it. Oh, there we go. Nope, not that. Why do I keep coming back to the fucking book? Not Heroes Reborn. James Bond, Agents of Spectre #3. Like I said, I'm invested in the story now, Eli. So I gotta see how it ends, because they keep throwing these weird hooks in there. So like, what he did? What? I gotta figure out where this is going on. So basically, where the book left off last time we saw it. Bond killed his best friend, Felix Leiter, and the Spectre agent that he did it thinks that he's coming to assassinate her, and she's just like, okay, if you kill Felix Leiter and you got a gun on you, then obviously I know who you work for, and he's not gonna like how sloppy you been in this situation. And Bond, they fight. I just cut to the end of that. Bond eventually gets the best of her, and basically said, yes, he sent me to come assassinate you. However, I'm willing to listen to a counter offer. She's like, wait, what? And she was like, boom. But eventually she decided they don't have a choice, because her goons come in. Yeah, she was like, basically Bond is just like, look, I'm coming to assassinate you, but if you make the counter offer and beat his price, I'll flip it and go assassinate him. And then when that comes in, then the police come in, so he throws his gun down. She has the gun and basically tells the guards that some guy came in dressed like you, shot this CIA agent. I was here with my boyfriend trying to make out with them. Go find him. He just left out of here. So they were like, okay, man, we're gonna do that. And while they're doing that, they're like, do y'all need medical attention? He's like, no, he's with me. So Bond leaves with her and he gives the guy a wink. He's like, uh-huh. So we all know what's about to go down. But anyway, this is more plot going on. So basically they sit there and talk. Bond is pouring, wine and stuff like that. And basically she tells him, yeah, I know you're working for Blowfield. But if you were to flip it on him, and she's like, how do I know I should trust you? She was like, how do you know to trust me? I just shot a CIA agent on US soil and I'm a British spy. If that news gets out, I'm done. Plus, even the fact that British intelligence knows about that, they're eventually gonna come after me anyway. So if that don't prove loyalty, I don't know what will. She was like, okay, so if you can take out Blowfield for me, I will pay you triple what he was gonna do, $45 million. He was like, I can, but I can't touch him because he's too well guarded. Is there a way that you can send some guys with me to help take him out? So like, I'll make him work something out. But that's the first part of business. Next part of the business, Bond, is that I have some intel on you. Is that I heard you were this great lover. And, she's not wearing any drawers either, so she already knows what's up. And on top of that, not only are you this great lover, I also heard that you don't really get attached to your female companions. You're basically one and done. She's like, oh, is there going to be a problem? They're like, for me? Nope. So then you cue the Sam Smith, the love scene, we get to it. She's scratching all the shit like that. And then afterwards, she was like, my intelligence lived up to its, it was worth the money. She was like, well, they didn't give you a perfect score, Bond. I need multiple tries to make sure you live up to your performance. She was like, yeah, I could, but I got to call Blowfield because you're looking to see if I assassinated you yet. And if I'm in your bed, he's going to know I didn't. So I need to leave and handle this. She was like, okay, well, we need to meet in my villa in Tuscany. And then we can celebrate after we kill Blowfield. But before then, we wouldn't do anything premature before then. Bond's just like, oh, I would never do anything premature. You're like, aha, funny. Anyway, so Bond's gone. He's at the Watergate Hotel talking to Blowfield. And both Blowfield knows everything that just happened, that he killed Felix Leiter. And on the US soil, he was like, okay, Bond, she knows you're onto her. You killed Felix Leiter. So give me one good reason why I shouldn't leak to the press that a British spy killed the CIA agent on US soil and just start World War III. Give me one reason why I should do it. He said, because I could complete the mission. Reason I complete the mission, because she told me that she'll pay me 3 times as much to kill you. She's like, that's not gonna, change my mind about doing this shit. He was like, listen to me. If she says what she's gonna do, she's gonna bring her people and her to come get you. If you bring your people to come get her, then you can take her out at first, and then boom, you win. You become the lead of Spectre. So, but I need you to get me out of the United States right now. So like, cool. And she's like, what about those scratches on your back, Bond? Like, don't worry about that. Hopefully it doesn't sting. So that's the scratches that Tatiana put on her. So by Bond, and this is interesting too. He said, I got some more business before I leave the colonies. I don't like how he called us the colonies. But anyway, so America, yeah, he calls the colonies.
Colony.
Yeah. So turns out Felix Leiter is not dead. Felix Leiter alive. Bond shot him and grazed him just enough that it would, made a lot of blood, but didn't kill him. He said it's just like a little concussion. It was just a nick. And Felix is like, look, Bond, we both know how good of a shot you are. You didn't come here to see if I'm okay. You came to see if we're okay. He's like, you got a crush on me. You got a man crush, And Bond's like, man, fuck you, I'm leaving. So that's when Felix decides to get up and says, look, Bond, I appreciate everything you did. I'm going to chill out, let everybody think I'm dead so I won't blow your cover. But when it's all said and done, if you need help, let me know. And Bond's like, I can't call anybody because I got one shot to get rid of Spectre all together. Get rid of Tatiana, get rid of Blowfield, get them all dead and gone. And I got one shot to do this, even if that shot make my life even shorter than what it is. And then Bond leaves the hospital and the end. So I guess the next book is going to be the big battle between the big civil war between Blowfield and Tatiana and Bond and blah, 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 all shit like that. So yeah, that's what's going on with the story right now. So now I feel like the story is back on track. They kept throwing me on these loops like, what? Bond gone evil? What? Bond killed his best friend? But now it's like a Bond story going into it now. So Yeah. So like I said, I'm on track. Yeah, ain't no obligatory sex. You know he's gonna have sex with the blind chick with no drawers on. I mean, I want my money back if he didn't do it. You know, the Great Bone Mission. Yeah, but that's all I got. I'm booked out. So
Let's see, what do I got left? Real quick, I'll just go real quick. Batman 108.
I'm surprised you didn't leave with that. This is Batman.
This was This was just an exposition dump. But this has this. What's her name?
Miracle Molly.
Micro Molly. I was gonna call her Micro Molly. This new character that Tinian keeps shoving down our throats. All these
like why do you keep making all these characters, man? What is DC paying you to do this shit? You know?
Yeah. So basically, last issue, Bruce decided to go undercover as Matches Malone.
Yeah. Okay.
And what are they called? The Unsane Posse or whatever they're called.
Insane Clown Posse. He's fighting them now. Like just fuck it.
The Unsane Collective or whatever they're called. Yeah, Unsanity Collective. That's what they're called. You know, they've been robbing rich folks and shit. And so he goes under there and he meets Miracle Molly, and basically she tells them what they've been doing, that they're trying to fuck the rich. We're trying to, for the people, all that shit. It's just a big exposition dump. There, she's kind of laying out that she knows he's Batman, but hasn't seen his face yet because he's got the Matches Malone's face on. But she knows that you're Batman. Why else would you be here? So just kind of explains to him what their plan is and all this shit. But he's like, yeah, but lately you guys been stealing from big rich tech companies, blah 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 blah. You guys are kind of operating outside your normal MO. And she's like, yeah, well, we have one of our backers is paying us to do that. Turns out his backer, they are being backed by not Howard Saint. What's his name? The Saint. Saint. The guy who's Simon Saint.
Simon Saint, yeah.
Simon Saint. Yeah, the guy who's basically in charge of the magistrate, making those new cops, the new peacekeepers and shit, designing them for a future state, So
have the peacekeepers showed up in this?
No, actually does a demonstration on how he's, I'm doing this new police force is going to replace cops, blah, 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 blah. They're going to be the best cops ever. Shit like that. So basically reveals that he's behind the Unsanity Collective shit.
And I think that dude in the wheelchair.
Oh, yeah, that dude, Maloney or whatever. Matches Malone. Or
I guarantee you he's Peacekeeper 1. Yeah.
The guy in the wheelchair who was fired by Gordon. What's that guy's name? Malone? No, not Malone. What's his name?
Mahoney?
Mahoney.
Am I making that up because Police Academy? I don't know.
Tackleberry. No, Sean Mahoney. That's his name. The guy in the
his name is Mahoney? Wow, that's original.
And Hightower and
Tinny is looking at us like, oh shit, I did get that from Police Academy. He don't even know he did.
Yeah. So it was just a lot of very wordy, fucking, like I said, a big exposition dump. No, 3 out of 5, And then last book I'll do is Nocterra number 3, which is starting to pick up, I think. I think it's going really good. This is an action-packed issue. So this is Scott Snyder and Tony S. Daniel. Mm-hmm. Their creator-owned book on Image, where the world is gone dark, the sun don't shine no more, and every living thing gets infected with the shadow sickness or something it's called. Mm-hmm. And it's in the future, and this one girl, she is like a truck driver. It's like Mad Max but in a only during nighttime. And she drives between these towns of light, these towns that have light. They're all lit up with light bulbs out of the dark, to light up the darkness, because the whole world is dark. Sun doesn't shine anymore. And meanwhile, there's this like shadow guy chasing this grandfather and a little girl. The grandfather claims he can bring the son back. So she's transferring the grandfather and the kid to this town. And then they're getting chased by the Shadow Man and his posse. It's this really cool action-packed Mad Max car chase scene. The grandfather sacrifices himself to let them escape. And it turns out that the Shadow Man's like, yeah, I'm not going to kill you. I'm just going to let you get infected by the darkness and become one of those darkness monsters. That's what happens. You get infected by the darkness and you become these dark shadow monsters. The beginning of this was really cool because we get a flashback of this truck driver as when she was younger, her and her brother, and when her parents become monsters. It's like really, this is like Scott Snyder, all the weird death metal and the shit that the universes colliding and rebooting, the 52 multiverses and all that shit that he's doing. He can really write horror really well. And this opening like flashback where they're little kids and their parents are becoming monsters, I just gotta say that was really pretty cool as far as like horror goes. So yeah, I get this a 4 out of 5. Yeah, it's just the cool story. Oh, and her brother's infected. Her brother's infected with the darkness. And he's slow, and she's trying to get the cure, but he's slowly becoming more and more infected. His eyes are starting to change and shit. And yeah, so that's where it ends. But yeah, this is a cool book. It's Tony S. Daniel, so his art's awesome, and it's Scott Snyder kind of writing this horror apocalyptic monster tale. So cool.
See where it goes from there. Let's see. Tiny Ann really wants those Batman. That's gotta be because he's making too many new characters. Like, why are you just cranking out so many new characters? It doesn't make any sense. But
that's what I heard about the new Batman book. Is like that he was hoping, like it's like the collectors were hoping this was gonna be like another big, like not clown hunter. What's the other chick? The other Harley Quinn.
Punchline.
Punchline.
Yeah.
There's like another punchline and shit. And like, yeah.
I mean, he's cranking out so many characters. It's kind of like taking away from it. I mean, if you're gonna make Punchline a thing, make Punchline a thing. Don't turn around and make a anti-Punchline, and all this other shit he's doing. So I don't know, but
yeah,
I'll get back on sooner or later. Yeah, definitely. If you listen this long, if you like, share, subscribe. Next week is number 200. Eli, we got to do something special. I don't celebrate something. Yeah, time flies.
We better do something. Yeah. Oh, let me shout out to Mob Boss. I forgot. He was sending that article about the freedmen. The black natives and shit. I forgot. I wanted to clarify. When I said that black people were trying to hide that they were natives, I was referring to like hundreds of years ago when the man was like hunting and lynching our people.
Right.
that's what I was referring to. Yes. Yeah. We, black natives should be recognized and should get all their, the federal recognition and all the, the sovereignty that goes along with, Native American recognized tribes. So, yeah. I appreciate the article you said. I have heard about that. And that's the cool thing about Rutherford Falls. It's a small scene. In one of the later episodes, they show a bunch of natives hanging out, and there's a black person chilling with them, like a part of like the council or whatever. So like, oh, there's a black native with them, and I just thought that was cool that the show is recognizing black natives. So that's what I wanted to clarify. So.
Nice.
Thanks for listening.
I said, my boss, we read your articles. It doesn't go unfounded. Shout out to my boss. He texts us every episode. Let us know what we did. Let us know what we think about stuff like that.
Sends us comic books and shit.
We literally like I still have my Shang-Chi over here on the coffee table over here that he sent us to us. So yeah. Shout out to him. Shout out to 616 man. He always showing up here, always saying some stuff also.
Yeah, all our loyal listeners.
Yeah, loyal. Cliff always frying fish on here. Damn, I need to stop because I don't want to forget somebody. If I forget you, blame my heart, not my head. Or is it the opposite? Blame my head, not my heart. My fault. Messed that up. So yeah, definitely check out episode 200. We will plan something. We're gonna sit down hash it out. Don't know what we're gonna do. We'll figure it out. Yeah, until then, this is Leroy.
This is Eli.
We'll talk to you guys next week. Same bully time, same bully channel.